All right, we're gonna start with question one. I'll give you all a minute to solve this. Okay, so for question one, it's as what is the y-intercept of a line with the equation y equals 4x minus 1? So the intercept uh, for any equation is the y-intercept is when x is equal to 0. So if we plug in 0 for x, we get 0 minus 1 equals y, which when we plug in, we would get y equals -1. So the y-intercept is -1. Okay, question two. Okay, so for question two, for the function f above, what is the value of f of 7 minus f of 5? And so first we have to find what we just plug in for x. So f of 7 would be 7 plus 3 over 2. And then f of 5 would just be 5 plus 3 over 2. We subtract these two. This would be 7 plus 3 is 10 over 2, which is 5, minus 5 plus 3 is 8 over 2, which is 4. So 5 minus 4 is equal to 1. So the correct answer is answer choice B. Okay, question three. Okay, so for question 3, we're given an equation and we're asked to find the value of y. So for this one, since they gave us this equation, which doesn't have a y value, we can just solve for x. So x over 2 equals 3. So we just multiply both sides by 2. So multiply both sides by 2. And we get x equals 3 times 2, which is 6. Now we just plug into the top equation. So 3 times x, we plug in 6, plus y equals 12. And then we just solve for y. So 6 times 3 is 18, plus 3y equals 12. And so subtract 18 from both sides, and we get 3y equals negative 6. And then divide both sides by 3, and we get y equals negative 2. The correct answer is in choice B. Okay, question 4. So for question 4, um, it says the equilibrium price is where quantity demanded and quantity supplied are equal. What is the equilibrium price? So we just have to set these two equal to each other. So 60 minus 3/4 P has to equal supply, which is 1/4 P. We just have to solve for whatever this price value is. So we just add 3/4 to both sides and we get 60 equals 1/4 plus 3/4 is 4/4 P. This is just 1 P equals 60. So correct answer is in choice B. Okay, question 5. Okay, so for question 5, we have to find the value of x given this equation. And so one thing we can do is just plug in. So uh, yeah, I guess that's probably going to be the easiest way. So if we plug in 2 for x, we would get 2 minus 2 squared, which is 0, minus 6 times 0 times 0 minus 2, which is negative 6 times negative 2, which is positive 12. And then we still have this positive 9 equals 0. Well, this is not correct, so the answer is not A. If we plug in 3, we get 3 minus 2, which is 1 squared, which is just 1, minus uh, 6 times x minus 2. Well, we have 3 uh, minus 2, which is 1, so minus 1 times 6 is negative 6. I did A wrong. This is not 12. Because 2 minus 2 is 0, so negative 6 times 0 is 0. Okay. Anyway, back to B. 3 minus 2 is 1 times negative 6 is negative 6 plus 9 equals 0. Well, this is not equal 0. If we plug in 5, 5 minus 2 is 3 squared, which is 9, minus, if we plug in 5, 5 minus 2 is 3, times 6 is 18, plus 9 equals 0. Uh, 9 plus 9 is 18, minus 18 is equal to 0. That is correct. So the correct answer is in choice C. And let's just try plug in D. 7 minus 2 is 5 squared is 25, minus um, 7 minus 2 is 5. 6 times 5 is 30, plus 9 is not equal to 0. So the correct answer is choice C. Okay, question 6. Okay, so for this question, we're told a chef plans to cook a maximum of 100 entrees. So that means the total number of items they cook have to be less than or equals to 100 because they can't cook more than 100. And maximum also means that they can cook less than that. So C plus S equals 16, no. Less than equals to 100, that's fine. Less than equals to 100, that's fine. C plus F equals 100, no, because it can also be less than. And then we're told the cost of ingredients is $7, $9, so 7C, 9F. Okay. And if no more than 850 can be spent, so that means they have to spend less than or equals to 850, because they can't spend more than 850. So that would be not this, it would be less than or equals to 850, so the correct answer is in choice C. Okay, question 7. Okay, so for question 7, we're told if x plus y is 13 and x minus y is 2, what is the value of x squared minus y squared? Well, since they're asking us for x squared minus y squared, and they've given us x plus y and x minus y, well, a simple thing you can do is that x plus y multiplied by x minus y is actually equal to x squared minus y squared. And let me just prove that. So x times x is x squared, y times x is yx, negative y times x is negative yx, and negative y times y is negative y squared. So we have x squared plus yx minus yx minus y squared, and the positive yx and negative yx cancel each other out, so you're just left with x squared minus y squared, which is what we're looking for. So all we did was just multiply x plus y and x minus y. So we can do the same thing with the answers. So we just take 13 and multiply it by 2, which gets us an answer of 26, which is the correct answer. Okay, question 8.
Kashi, you have raised hand. I have promoted you. If you have any questions, you can ask.
Sorry, what was that?
There's someone who wanted, maybe some question or something. She's typed it, I think.
Okay, so for question 8, We're told a loaf costs $1 to make, and he sells the loaves for $3 each. So that means he makes a profit of $3 minus $1, which means he makes a profit of $2 on each loaf of bread. And so, we're told he pays a vendor's fee of $75. So $75 divided by 2 is equal to 37.5. And so what is the least number of loaves of bread he has to sell to cover the cost of the vendor's fee? Well, um, since he has to cover the cost of the vendor's fee, he has to round up. Because if he sells 37, he's still zero point 0.5 breads away from actually covering the cost. So we have to round up to 38, which is answer choice A. Okay, so for question 9, um, we're told that the tangent of A is 4 over 3, so tangent is TOA. So, well, let me just write it out loud. So tan is opposite over adjacent, so opposite is 4 and adjacent is 3. And well, for those of you that know your side angle triangles, you know that this would have to be a 3, 4, 5 triangle. Um, this is just a general rule for uh, right triangles, where if this is 3, this is 4, this would be 5, sort of like the root true triangles and all that. So what is the sign of B? Well, sine of B is opposite over hypotenuse. So opposite is 3 over 5, which is A. Now you could also solve this the normal way, which would be tangent of A is 4/3. So this would be 4. So this side would just be um, 20 divided by 3. And then using that, you can solve for sine of B, but that's a bit more of a complicated way to do it. Okay, question 10. Okay, so for this question, we're given W, X, and Z are greater than 1, which of the following is equivalent to Y. And so for this one, first we just have to get all the Y's on one side. So W, X, that's not a W. W, X, Y plus X, Y, Z. And then we take this and move it to the other side. So minus YZ equals WX. And so now to get Y by itself, we just divide both sides by Y and we get W, that's not a whatever, WX plus XZ. minus z equals wx divided by the y that we removed. Because we just took this entire side, divided it by y, and took this entire side and divided it by y. And so now, what we can do is we can change the reciprocal. So for example, if we had like 10 over 5 equals 2, we could also say that 10 over 2 equals 5. So we can do the same thing with this equation, or we can say wx over uh, wx plus xz minus z is equal to y. And so that would be your answer. So this is our answer, wx over wx plus xz minus z, which is in choice D. Okay, question 11. Okay, so for question 11, um, the pressure exerted increases by 1 atmosphere every 33 feet below the surface of the water. So, every 33 feet, um, we increase the pressure by 1. So 33 feet, every 30 feet, we increase pressure by 1. So that means we would have F feet, which would be F over 33, because that means 33 over 33 would get us 1 P. Because if we go down 33 feet, this would equal 1, so that means the pressure would increase by 1. And so it also tells us at sea level, the pressure is 1 atmosphere, so we need to add 1 to it. This would mean at 0 feet below sea level, we would have a pressure of 1. At 33 feet below sea level, we would have a pressure of 1 plus 1, which is 2. So this would be the final answer, which is in choice D. Okay, question 12. Okay, so for this question, which of the following equations has a graph in the xy plane with no x-intercepts? So one way you could do this is a calculator, because now you can use a calculator on the entire SAT, but there's actually an even easier way, which is using cardinality. And so, well, the first thing is that has no x-intercepts, well, when x equals 0, so this can't be the correct answer for this, when 2x is equal to positive 5, so it can't be answer choice D. But between A and B, we can just use cardinality. So this is positive, 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 and this is positive, negative, negative. So the correct answer is answer is A. An explanation would be an x squared graph is like this. Oh, that's not. Um, any sort of quadratic graph with a positive x squared value is like this. If you do minus 5x minus 6, you can just move the graph down and left or right. And if you have two positive values, then you move the graph up and left or right. So that means that the correct answer has to be A for having no x-intercepts. If this was like, if the cardinalities were flipped, then it would also be like that. So the correct answer is A. That's a pretty fast way to do it. All right, question 13. Okay, so for this question, honestly, the easiest way is probably just going to be using Desmos and graphing these. Alternatively, what you can do is plugging in these values for y and seeing when the two x values for these equations are the exact same. So if we plug in 1 for y, would have to be the x value for the top equation would have to be the same as the x value for the bottom equation. Um, I would just recommend using Desmos for this, in which case, pull that up. All right. 5x plus 1 and x squared plus 3x plus 2. So the point of intersection would be right here at x equals 1, y equals 6. So the correct answer is in choice D. Okay, question 14. Okay, so for question 14, which of the following is equivalent to 16 x squared to the 1 half? Well, this is pretty easy. You can just uh, drag this over. So that gets us 16 to the 1 half. And you get x to the 2 over 2, which gets us, well, 1 half just means square root. So we just get 4x. And the thing is that um, the correct answer is A. The reason why it's taking the absolute value of it is because the square root of a value squared, well, no matter what you put in for x, if it's like positive or negative, this will always become positive, and then taking the square root of some positive integer will always give you a positive answer. Will always be positive. So that's why they just took the absolute value of x in that case. Okay. Question 15. Okay, so for question 15, BC is 5. AD is half the length of CD, so this is 1/2 of CD. I guess the better way to do this would just be saying this is 1 and this is 2, because this means that this is half of CD, so that means the total length of this would be a ratio of 3. It wouldn't actually be 3, considering that this is 5, but it would be some ratio of 3 to 1. So the ratio between AED and ABC is just 1/3, or I guess 3 if you're going the other way. So if you want to convert from ABC to AED, you just take 1/3 of all the side lengths. So 1/3 times the side length of 5 is just 5/3. So the correct answer is in choice C. And question 16. Okay, so question 16 is pretty easy, because this is the same form as one of the previous questions where we have x plus and minus a value. So this would just be x minus 4, x plus 4, x squared, negative 4x, positive 4x, and negative 16, which is just x squared minus 16. And so it says product is x squared minus c. X squared is x squared, minus is still there, so c is 16. So that's the correct answer. And it's basically 11:30, so I think that's about it for today.